Hey everyone, Jared Wilson and Kiara here. It's Thursday, so we're continuing our series, Black Gentleman's Guide on Relationships for Black Love Week and Valentine's Day. So, great session yesterday. We want to continue that up, focusing on a couple more questions we got today and ones that we actually really like and are very important to us. So, hopping right into it, first question. How important is faith and spirituality in your relationship? Now, before I let her answer that, one of the pillars of Black Gentleman's Guide is spirituality. So it's something that, of course, to me is very important. But what is your take on it?
Well, you guys have heard me talk a lot about my relationship with Christ, and so it obviously is very important to me as well. And so to our relationship, it's definitely the foundation that we have. Without it, I don't think we would be this far where we are, let alone being in a long-distance relationship this far. So it's very important to me as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when it comes to faith and spirituality, it is the basis and that foundation. If you don't have that, and it's not even on a relationship, it's really having that on an individual level. If you have that as an individual level, then your actions, the way you speak, how you uphold yourself, the way you feel that you should treat your partner, let alone speak to them, really sets the stage. Because I have that relationship, I'm not going to ever talk to her in a negative way or talk down to her. And it doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I'm definitely not.
That's true.
Okay, keep me honest. Okay, yeah, definitely not perfect. But it's one of those things where by me having that, it allows me to conduct the relationship or lead the relationship as the man in the way that I believe it should follow. And then for us, it allows us, like we talked about yesterday, to make sure we're doing things to keep Christ in the forefront, whether it's doing our joint devotionals or making sure we pray together and for each other, whether we're together here like we are now or when we're apart. It really just adds a whole different dynamic to what we're doing here.
And I definitely think it helps too in times of conflict, kind of going back to your own spiritual beliefs and how you kind of deal with difficult times in your life will help you to resolve issues that may come up in your relationship as well.
Yeah, more importantly, also just talking about them.
Yeah.
I know one of the things when we first started dating was we talked a lot about spirituality and what our personal testimony was in our journey, because it brings up a lot of different dynamics for you to get to know the other person and realize what they've been through. So one, I can be aware of that, and as well too, so that way I can conduct myself in a way that is not going to be detrimental, or what we try to be very sensitive is not resurfacing past hurts or negative feelings, so that way we don't feel that way. Yeah. All right, next question, which kind of ties into the first one. So how do we keep God first in our relationship?
I think you touched on it too. Like one of the things that we started doing very early on in our relationship was actually doing devotionals together. So there's a great app out there called the Bible app. It actually shows you, if you have friends on there, and Jared is one of my friends, it shows you like if he's reading devotionals, if he's logged into the app, if he's bookmarked a verse, things like that. So we kind of be like, hey, I didn't see you on the app this morning, and things like that. So I think it's a good accountability, and it's a great way to kind of do things together.
Yeah, great point. I think you're right. The accountability part is very key, just to have that. And I think as well, especially in today's world, it's so easy because there's so many other dynamics to the relationship, let alone your personal lives, where it's easy to say, oh, well, I'm Christian and I go to church and that's it. And that's not necessarily having faith or spirituality or really being a part of that or integrating it, I should really say, in our relationship. I can go to church every Sunday, and Monday to Saturday, I'm doing everything else. And so for us, it's one of those things where, by doing the devotions, by actively praying, and I know there's times where she's held me accountable. She's like, Jared, I haven't heard you say a prayer for me, for us this week, or you haven't sent me a text message of a prayer this week. So it's one of those things where we look to do that. And even more so, where I think it really becomes important in our relationship is when we have those arguments. And it's one of those things where she's even really good at that, where if we have an argument, and it's one of those things where it's like, I'm done with you, and we both get off the phone, and we're both mad, and then before I know it, I get a text message of a Bible verse. Or I'll go on the app and all of a sudden I see she's already been in there highlighting away. And one of those things where it's like, okay, you know what? I have that in the forefront of her life. It's in the forefront of my life. And because of that, together, we're able to create something where it's in the forefront of both our lives. You like that?
True. I agree.
Amen. Hallelujah. So with that being said, more questions. We appreciate it. Tomorrow's the last day, sadly, of Black Love Week that we're doing questions. But if you guys still have questions, this is a segment where, like I said, relationships will continue to be a part of Black Gentlemen's Guide as one of the founding pillars. So we will continue to find ways to incorporate it. So we appreciate it. Until then, Black Gentlemen's Guide, stand tall. Stand tall.